So as we come to our seat, and I just would love to make this so that it's really, really clear in our practice. When we do this, especially our mild yoga, props, if you like props, sitting on a blanket, sitting on a block, straps, all the tools that you like, if they make your practice better, please just always have them handy. I might not always remember to say a specific cue for a prop, but if you like using a prop, then please have it there. And just know, just like I was saying, if you had a day where you need a little bit of extra oomph to your practice, throw that in. There's no reason to not, if that's what your body needs. So with that being said, take a second to settle in your seat. Maybe close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. Take a second to find your way into a nice, comfortable seated position, and then invite some softness in. Soften your shoulders, soften your arms, soften your jaw. And as you start to settle in, and you give your mind and your body just an extra moment here, just to kind of let go of the day that you've come to your mat with, and see if you can just kind of acknowledge anything that's come before this moment. Maybe give it a little extra love, and then see what can you set down, knowing that all of that stuff will still be there when you're done with your practice. Readjust anything in your seat that you need to, so you're sitting nice and comfortable. And then we're going to take the left hand and reach across and see if you can just find a handhold on your right side ribs. So spread your fingers nice and wide. We just want to kind of tune in. And for everybody, that handhold will look a little different. But what we want to do is see if we can feel the ribs underneath our hand. And then once you feel like you've got a good handhold, take a nice, generous breath, fill your lungs up. Nice, slow breath out. Nice, big breath, fill your lungs up. Nice, slow breath out. One more breath here. And then release that hand from the ribs, and we're going to reach across to the other side. So taking your right hand, reach across to the left side ribs, give a second. And like I said, everybody's handhold is going to look a little different, but spread your hand as wide as you can so you feel a nice surface of the ribs underneath your hand. And then once you've got a handhold that works good for you, take a nice deep inhale, fill your lungs up. Nice slow exhale. Nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath here. And then we're going to release the hands so that we can find the solar plexus. So underneath the ribs, but above the belly button. And then once you've got that sort of general location, nice big wide hands, place both hands on that, just that whole surface area. So above the belly button, but below the ribs. Take a nice full breath in and see if you can breathe your breath down to your hands. Take that big inhale. Slow, slow exhale. And now on this breath, as you inhale, take the breath directly down to the bottom of the lungs. Fill up bottom of the lungs, middle of the lungs, and then all the way up to the collarbones. And then once you fill up to the top, see if you can retain the breath for a second, and then let your exhale go nice and slow. And then see if you can do that again. Inhale down to the bottom of your lungs. Fill up the bottom, middle of the lungs, all the way up to the collarbones. Retain your breath at the top for a moment, and then exhale nice and slow. And then see if you can do that again. Inhale, a nice full breath down to the bottom of the lungs. Fill up the bottom of the lungs, middle of the lungs, all the way up to the top of the lungs, to the collarbones. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale nice and slow. Beautiful. And then from here, release your hands to your knees. We're going to take a light seated cat-cow here. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale to round your back. One more breath here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. And then as you inhale to a nice neutral spine, left hand's going to touch the ground, right hand's going to reach up. Take a nice gentle side bend. And then we're going to take that right over to the other side. But think of this as like a slow fluid motion, dropping the hand down, lifting the other hand up, lean in just a little bit. And then once you feel like you found a little stretch, lift right up and out of it, take it over to the other side. Beautiful. Lift up when you're ready. Take it over back to the other side. And then one more time, one time to each side. Just finding that nice fluid movement. And then the next time from here, as you lift up, take it right into a seated twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale to release slightly. So we're going to rotate the heart so that it's just pointing towards the knee, and then release your hands. Lean your heart forward. So think hip hinge. Lean your heart forward towards your knee. Just go as far as feels comfortable. Do you start to feel any compression in the hips? Pause there or lighten up a little bit. And then when you're ready, lift up, and we'll take that twist over to the other side. So left hand's going to find the right knee. Inhale and get nice and tall. Keeping that rotation, but loosening up slightly. So we're going to release our handhold. So heart's pointing towards the knee. Hip hinge, lean your heart forward. Beautiful. Bring it right back up and then rotate heart to center. And we're going to take a light, easy seated forward fold. So we're just going to walk the hands about a step or two forward, just so that the heart comes forward, maybe past the ankles. Once you found your way here, plant your palms and think cat-cow again. Inhale, lift your heart, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Exhale, pull the ribs back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin down. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, round your back. Lovely. One more just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round, and then think, pull the ribs back, roll your way up nice and slow, lean back into your sits bones, and then swing your legs out in front of you with a nice giant bend in the knees. Start to just rock your knees a little bit side to side. And then as you start to move here, kind of notice, how do your knees feel? How do your hips feel? How do your feet and your ankles feel? And then once you've got a kind of sense of how everything's feeling, we're going to step the feet just a little bit longer towards longer out in front of you, but still keeping a nice generous bend in the legs. Lift your belly up and over, and then just a ragdoll fold. So reach toward your toes, let your belly and chest rest on your thighs. Soften through your upper body, soften your shoulders. Soften your middle back, and then see if you can tune in for a moment. Notice your breath in the back of your ribs. Take one more breath. And then as you come up nice and slow, walk your hands up your shins. We're going to extend the left leg just as long as feels good. And we're going to bend the right knee a little bit more. So now we're going to grab hold of the back of the thigh and floss through the back of the leg. So we're going to lift the heel slightly away from the floor. And then from here, inhale, lift your heel up, lift your chin. Exhale, lower your heel, tuck your chin slightly. Inhale, lift your heel, flex your foot, lift your chin. Exhale, lower down, tuck your chin slightly. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower down. Lift your head to a neutral position. Send your right leg out nice and long. Pick up the other leg. So we're going to get that nice little handhold. Lift the heel up away from the floor, and away we go. Inhale, lift your foot, lift your chin, flex the foot. Exhale, release it down, tuck your chin slightly. Inhale to lift, flex the foot, lift your chin. Exhale to lower it down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down. Bring your head to a neutral position. Release your leg nice and long. And now we're just going to scooch the butt forward so that we can bend the knees, curl your tailbone under, and then just make sure that as we come down to the ground that you have your yoga block or your pillow or whatever prop you're going to use tonight. Just have it nearby so you don't have to scramble to find it when the time comes. And then as you come down to the ground, pause just for a moment. Let everything find its way. Relax your tailbone, let your low back get comfortable, let your shoulder blades find a comfortable place. And then once you feel like your back is in a good position, arms are going to come into a cactus or goal post. So a nice 90-degree bend, elbows in line with the shoulders. Take a second to just make sure your shoulder blades feel comfortable here. And then toe heel your feet out just a little bit wider and start to rock your knees side to side. Make it a nice, small, mindful movement to start. And then as you start to find a little warmth, then increase your range of motion. Take one more time each side. And then let your knees come to stillness. Just let them drop in towards each other and then move that movement up into the head and the neck. Just start to turn your head gently side to side. Beautiful. One more turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes to center, we're going to reach the arms up straight in front of the chest with the palms facing in. We're going to reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling so that the shoulders round and lift away from the floor. And then exhale, press your shoulders into the earth almost to the point that your chest lifts. Inhale, reach your fingers up, round the shoulders. Exhale, pull the shoulders down, press into the earth and feel that little lift in the chest. And do that one more time. Reach your fingertips up, round your shoulders. Pull the shoulders down, press into the shoulders so you feel that little lift in the chest. And then relax your chest, find that sort of neutral position. Palms are now going to face down towards your knees. And then just inhale, arms up and overhead, like you're taking a little bit of a yawn. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down alongside your hips. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, arms lower down alongside the hips. One more just like that. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower the hands down and then walk your feet in so feet are about hip width distance apart with the heels a little closer to the butt. Now we're going to move right into pelvic tilt. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground, a tiny tilt of the pelvis so the tailbone curls up and you feel your quads get engaged. And then inhale, come back to the natural curve of your back. Exhale as you press your low back down. Inhale to release. Take a few more cycles of breath here and just move with your breath's rhythm. Find a pace and a depth of work that feels nice. Take one more cycle of breath. And then once you've completed that cycle of breath, we're going to pick the right knee up, externally rotate. So the knee is going to turn out to the side and you're going to see if you can catch your right foot in your left hand. And then once you've got that external rotation, small movement here, gently rock the leg a little bit side to side. Awesome. One more little rock side to side. And then we're going to release that leg down and take it to the other side. Pick the left leg up, grab the knee, grab the heel, externally rotate. And then once you've got that external rotation, a small rock side to side. Just small enough that you get some movement into the hip, but not so big that you're rocking all over the place and you can't control. Beautiful. One more little rock side to side. And then set that foot down. So now both feet are going to be about hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt. And now grab your prop, your pillow, your rolled up towel, or your yoga block. If you're using a yoga block, I'll just suggest that you start on the lowest setting. And then just depending on your height and your proportions and flexibility in the front of the hips, that'll take you in the next direction if you choose to go up to that second level. But whatever you've got, lift your hips up away from the floor and then slide your tool underneath your butt. So we, especially for the yoga block, since it's a little bit harder and a little bit more solid, we do want to make sure that it's not digging or pressing into the skin in any way that's uncomfortable, and that it's nice and supportive under the structure of the bones. So with the pillow, you have just a little bit more wiggle room. It covers a little bit more surface area, but whatever tool you're using, make sure it's underneath your tailbone, your hip bones, and it feels like it's good and supported. Once you've got that block in a nice position, let your arms just come out at your sides. So think anatomical position, maybe about 45 degrees away from the body, palms facing up. Give a second here to let your shoulder heads kind of soften into the ground. And then once you've found that softening through the upper body, take your awareness back down to your belly and just notice your breath here. Take a generous inhale, fill your lungs up. And a nice slow exhale. Inhale, fill the lungs up. So think bottom, middle, top of the lungs. And then exhale nice and slow. Two more cycles of breath here. Keeping your support underneath your hips, give your toes a little wiggle, give your heels a little wiggle just to make sure that they feel good and awake. And then we're going to extend the right leg nice and long. So we're going to keep the hips supported on your block or your blanket or your pillow or your rolled up towel, but send your right leg out nice and long. Flex your foot. And now from here, we're going to take the right arm, reach it up alongside the ear. So a nice long line from your right fingertips down to your right heel. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Two more cycles of breath. Once you've completed those cycles of breath, slide your right leg in, bring that right hand back down to that anatomical position, and then take it to the other side. Left leg is going to extend nice and long, heel to the ground, flex your foot. Left hand is going to reach up alongside the ear, and then come back to your breath here. So we reach long energetically through the heel, through the fingertips, and then take that full inhalation. Nice slow exhalation. One more breath. And then if it feels available, you're going to walk the right leg out to meet the left. So both legs are going to extend nice and long. And just make sure that the block or the blanket, whatever you've got underneath your butt, still feels like it's good and supportive. If you need to rearrange anything, take a second to do it. But if all is feeling good, extend your right arm up as well. So arms up and overhead, reaching long through the heels. So there's a light flex in the feet. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Two more cycles of breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully start by releasing your arms back down alongside the hips with the palms facing down. So you can use your arms as a little bit of an anchor, and then start to walk your feet back in, push into your feet, lift your hips up away from your prop, and then release that out from underneath you. Slowly and gently bring your hips back down to the ground. Once your hips touch down, take both knees up into your chest, a light little squeeze, maybe a gentle rock side to side. And then we're going to let the left foot touch down. Right leg is going to come across the left. So set up into a figure four. Place your hand to your inner thigh, and we're just going to gently press the knee open. Find a light bit of sensation here. So you might feel sensation in the inner thigh or up in that inner portion where the hip meets the hip bone. And then just take a nice deep breath, noticing where in your body you feel sensation. And then release your hand from the inner thigh. Keep that figure four, lift the left leg up, thread your hands through, grab hold of either the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. We're just going to take it for one breath. So gently pull the legs in just to a point where you feel sensation in the outer edge of your hip. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release nice and slow. Step the right foot off and then step the left foot across. So start by setting up your figure four and then left hand to that inner thigh. Gently push the knee open just to the point where you feel sensation and then pause. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your hand from the inner thigh. Lift the right leg up. Thread your hands through whatever handhold works good for you. Draw it in gently just to the point where you feel sensation in the outer edge of the left hip, and then take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Release that figure four. Step the left leg off the right. We're going to pull the right knee into the chest. Extend your left leg nice and long, and a supine twist, but we're not going to stay there very long. So take that right knee over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. On the next inhale, pull your knee back into your chest. Bring the left knee into meet. So both knees hug into the chest. Hold on to your left knee. Let your right leg go nice and long. Left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens out nice and wide. Head turns to the left. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. On your next in-breath, pull that left knee into your chest. Bring the right knee into meet. One last little hug here. And then just for a nice little active position, hold onto your knees. Push your knees into your hands so you feel the muscles in your back get active. Feel the muscles in your quadriceps get active. Take one last inhale. As you exhale, soften, gently draw the knees in. And then release your feet down to the ground. Pause for a moment to just notice how your body feels. And then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest and let the knees support each other? Do you want a little bit more action, maybe taking a reclined cobbler's pose, preferably tucking some pillows or blankets under the outer edges of your thighs so that feels supported? Or maybe take that more traditional shape, walk your legs long. Whatever shape you choose, make sure you're comfortable. And if you're in a cool room or a colder climate, just throw on some socks or throw a blanket on, something so that you don't come out of your Shavasana all stiff and cold. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently move your fingers and your toes. Invite a deeper breath back into your lungs. Fill your lungs up. Think bottom of the lungs, middle of the lungs, all the way up to the collarbones. And then let out a nice slow exhale. And then invite some gentle movement into your ankles, into your wrists, maybe turn your head a little side to side. If you've got blanket on or any other props attached to your body, take a second to just move them off to the side. And then if it feels good to do so, you're just going to start by sliding your heels in. We're just going to take a round of pelvic tilt before we start to move and come up. So as you exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale and release to the natural curve of your back. And then gently draw your knees in towards your chest. Maybe give yourself a light little squeeze or a little rock side to side. Any movement here that feels good. And then when you're ready, if you can, we're going to roll to one side. So think rolling into a fetal position. Pause in that fetal position for a moment. So as you roll to one side, let your hand touch the ground. Let your head rest gently on the floor. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then as you become aware of that solidness of the floor underneath you, gently push into your hand, help your way up to a nice, comfortable seated position, but take your time, come out nice and slow. And then sitting in Sukhasana, if that feels like a nice way to sit, but any seat that allows you to sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. And then once you found your way up, take your left hand, reach across, just a little gentle handhold on the side, the right side of your neck. And then once you've got that handhold, just lightly turn your head side to side. So you feel maybe that connection of warmth, your palm to neck, a little bit of movement of skin and muscle underneath your hand. One more little turn side to side, and then bring your head to center, release your hand, reach over and across with the other hand, finding that nice front of the neck, side of the neck, just get that little gentle press. And then once you've got a nice handhold, just turn your head gently side to side. Beautiful. One more turn of the head side to side. And then as you bring your head back to center, release both hands to stack right on top of your heart. Close your eyes down or soften your gaze. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your night and apply it to every endeavor that you approach throughout the evening. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday. I love Wednesday nights. Yay.